Hello everybody, it's me, and it's one of those long videos where I sit inside the car and tell you everything about our latest update called 5.4.1. It's going to be a long boring video, but if you want to learn better how the new update performs, what are the new features and improvements, this is the video to watch. And also go down in the comments and let me know if this type of a video helps you, because I feel like I'm talking too much and the videos are becoming too long, but I'm doing this with the intention of giving you every necessary detail about all of our new features. And the first one I'm going to start with is the new automation for the right scroll wheel. Yes, if you're not aware, we've done a feature where if you go inside the commander, there's all these automations, and one of them is called scroll wheel button. Once you go in, and hopefully you can see it better this way, and once you activate it, what's going to happen is every time I scroll up, the car goes into drive, and then if I scroll down, the car goes into reverse. Also, we have added a toggle where if I step on the brake and press down on the same button, the car is going to move into park. Let's do it. There you have it. We have added two more options. One is based on the feedback of Bjorn, Tesla Bjorn. He uses our products a lot, and he gave a great feedback on his last video that we should reverse the motion of the scroll wheel. So not sliding up to go forward, but rather the opposite, just like on the old traditional stock, when you have to go down so the car goes forward. And this is what we have made. So there's going to be an option in a couple of days where if you toggle it, every time when you scroll up, the car is going to go into reverse, just like this. And if you scroll down, it's going to go into drive. Pretty interesting. To be honest, I'm fan more of the traditional way, but Bjorn wants it. That means other people are also going to want it. So you're going to have it this Friday. Also, additional option we have added is for those who are worried that during some type of a maneuver you're making, you accidentally going to scroll and change the direction. That's why we're going to add a toggle where you always have to press the brake to switch the gears. For instance, right now, I'm not pressing the brake. I'm going to scroll up. Nothing happens. But if I press the brake and I scroll up, the gear changes. So this is going to be something new, which you're also going to see this Friday. It's much quicker in our opinion. It's much more intuitive. And also with one of our future updates, this is going to be customizable. So if you do not want to change gears, but something else, you're going to be able to. Now let's move forward and go over another feature that we have added. And let's do the passenger easy entry, because I read a few of your comments that you're having difficulty setting it up. You always need to activate the feature, right? So right now it's active, but since I haven't set any of the presets here, the preset for the default position of the seat and the preset of the easy entry position, I need to do that first. So let me move to the other side and show you how to do it. So the main purpose of this feature is going to be every time your passenger unbuckles their seatbelt, the seat slides backwards so they have more room to exit the car. And it's going to work the same way if they're entering the car from the outside. Every time they open the door, if the seat is moved forward, it's going to slide backward for them so they can easily jump in. So let me show you how to set it up. The first, I need to set up the default position of the seat. This is the one position that every time when there's somebody sitting here and their seatbelt is on, the seat is going to slide forward too. So I'm going to move it forward. Let's say I'm happy with this position here. So I'm going to go here and press on save. And then I need to set up the easy entry position. So I need to switch the tab, and then I need to slide the seat as far back as I want. Let's say I'm happy with this position here. Once I am, I press on save. And now every time when there's somebody sitting on the seat and they're buckle the seatbelt, let's try it out. The seat should slide forward, just like this. Now let's unbuckle the seatbelt, and the seat moves backward. I hope it was easy for you guys to see, but we also had added an option where you can disable this feature if somebody is sitting in the back seat. But Bjorn pointed out something very interesting. He said that if a small child is sitting on the back seat, the car doesn't register it because it might be too light. That's why with the next update, there's going to be an extra toggle where once it's on, it's going to be looking if the rear seat belt is buckled or not. So if you put something in the back and you buckle the seat belt, the front seat is not going to be moving. Let me know down in the comments if you want us to extend this feature and put it for the driver's seat as well, so this doesn't happen to you. The next feature I want to talk about is the ambient light effect automation. if you're not aware, we have made this feature a few months back, but with this update, we have totally transformed it. And if you do not know what it does, it makes your light strip of your Model 3 Highland and the Model Y Juniper into a functional LED bar. What I mean is, right now, my light strip is only flashing in one color, but I have set it so when I turn on my turn signal, it goes into green color. And when I stop it, it goes back into a default state. Let me show you what we have done with this update. Now I can go and choose what color this light strip is gonna blink in when this action is happening. For instance, I can do so my turn signal flashes in blue, for instance. So right now, when I turn it on, it flashes blue. I'm not sure why you're gonna do this, but you have the option to do so. The second thing that you can do is customize its brightness. You can set it to any level, keep it on auto, or as me, you can put it on auto plus 20. What this means is that if right now the car thinks that this bar is gonna be lit up at 60%, we are setting it at 80 when the feature is active. Let me show you. So I'm gonna activate it, and it blinks way brighter than a second ago. Now it's too bright outside, so I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it, but at night it makes a total difference, especially for the autopilot, because I set the front bar to flash blue when my autopilot warning is on, and it flashes in brighter blue than the rest of the LED bar. It's much more pleasant for me to see because it's like a actual warning announcement. It makes me pay attention. Also, what you can do is set up the color of your hazard lights. So right now, if I turn on my hazard light, it's gonna start blinking in orange, as you see. That's pretty cool. But what I like is that you can choose which segment of the bar should blink and which one should not. What I mean by this is, with the previous update, when I was turning on my hazard lights, everything was flashing the same color, even my rear doors. But somebody said, can you make it so the rear doors never flash, because that distracts my kids, and especially when they're going to sleep. So what we've done is right now you can go and choose which section of the car should blink and which one should not. For instance, if I want to make sure that this part of the door never blinks, I just need to untoggle this, and it's always going to stay the same color, even though the rest is blinking. I'm not sure if you're able to see. The dash blinks orange, but the door is in purple. I can also choose if I want this dash to be split or not. Now, what split means is, if I turn on the turn signal, only the half of the dash is going to blink in one color. The other half is going to stay in default color. But if I go here and untoggle the split left to right, left and right, the whole bar is going to be blinking. I hope you guys see, because I'm looking at the camera and I don't see anything. And you can do these adjustments for every single feature that is added right here. You can do it for the autopilot. You can do it based on changing the acceleration mode. Let's say when you're driving chill, the LED bar is going to be green, but when you switch to sport mode, it's going to be red. That's pretty cool. I like it. But you just need to play around with it and find your perfect setup. While we are talking about the commander, let's go over the kickdown feature. Now, we improved this with every single update, and it just got an extra toggle, which is going to help you even more enjoy this feature. Kickdown is a automation where if you drive in chill mode in the city, like I do, but sometimes you need to switch to sport mode, you can do that simply by stepping on the accelerator. So you just step on 100% and the car switches to sport mode, and then when you release the accelerator, it goes back into chill mode. But now, with a new update, you can choose after how many seconds the car is going to go into chill mode. Right now it's set on 5 seconds. So what I need to do is step on the accelerator, the car goes into sport mode, I release on it, the car is going to count 5 seconds, and then it's going to go back into chill mode. That way you have a little bit extra time to do any extra speedy maneuvers. I think it's pretty useful. You can always set it to 0 if you want, but you know, it's all up to you. Just play around with it. I think it's a cool feature for those who are just like me and prefer driving in chill mode in the city. And the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to commander automations is the continuous autopilot. So this is our most famous feature that we have implemented almost a year ago, I believe. What it does is automatically re-engages your autopilot when you're doing a lane change. And this feature is mainly for those who have not the enhanced autopilot, not the FSD, just the standard auto steer. However, on the new Model Y Juniper, there is no cruise control, which was our main source of recognizing if you want to continue using this feature while you're driving on the road, or if you want to stop using it when you're, let's say, exiting a highway. But since there's no cruise control state here for now, we have done some improvements for those who have the Model Y. How is it going to work now? It's almost the same way. You activate the feature, you have to read all the instructions. A lot of you guys do not read the instructions. And then what you need to do is choose after how many seconds you have completed your maneuver, the autopilot is going to re-engage. I usually keep it at 2 seconds. I've seen some keep it at 1, but it's all up to you. And I also like to have a safety feature where this automation is disabled if I drive with speeds under 30 kilometers an hour. This helps me never use the autopilot when I'm in zones where I need to drive slower. Let's say in the city. But if I drive with over 30 kilometers an hour, the autopilot is always going to be re-engaging for me after a lane change. And what do I need to do to make this feature work properly? Drive on autopilot, turn on the turn signal, steer to the left, then when I'm in the left lane, steer forward, and within the timer, I need to press on the accelerator just to tell the car, get back on autopilot. That's it. That way you're never going to have to press on this button here. So if you own a Model Y Juniper, maybe setting a longer timer, let's say 4 or 5 seconds, is going to be better for you. But again, you just need to play with it, get used to it, and see how it is going to work better. I'm going to do a full tutorial of this feature because it's a great one. So make sure to be subscribed to our channel and to our newsletter so you can receive an email and notification when this full video is going to be out. Let's talk about the knob now. We have added a cool feature which is going to automatically return the dial back to a home page which you have previously pre-selected from the Sexy app. How you do that? You go inside the knob settings. There's a by gear or custom section. You choose which page should automatically activate when you are in a specific gear. For instance, I have set so when I'm in park, the knob is on page number 2, just like now. And then you can add a timer, which is going to return back to that page after a few seconds of inactivity. This was suggested by many people who were saying, I drive on the road, I have to switch an action, but then I forget at which page I'm at. And now you set a timer for 3 seconds or how many you need. When I turn the dial, let's say to page number 1, I stay here for 3 seconds and bam, the knob goes back into page number 2, which is my default page when I'm in park. And this is going to work for every single page depending on the drive state. So I think it's a pretty useful feature, which always going to allow you to remember that you're going to start from the same position you have pre-selected from the app. Now, we've also added few features to the knob, but there's no need to talk about them too much. We've added the single wipe motion where the wiper is only going to move once left to right. We have added the washer option, the one that's going to spray water on your windshield and wipe it once. But one feature I want to spend more time about is the strobe light feature. We have added it not only to the knob, we have added it to the stalks, and obviously there was the same feature for the Sexy buttons for about a couple of months now. The strobe lights is flashing your high beams a few times to inform the person in front of you. I have set up this button right here to flash the high beam twice after I press it, just like this. But you reported that every time when you use it, the auto high beams were turning off. Well, with this upcoming update, which is going to be released on Friday, if you drive on auto high beams after using it, the car is going to go back into high beams. Now, one additional feature that I didn't mention in the main video is the lock unlock action that we've added with this update. It's located right down here under the lock unlock section. When you scroll down, it's called silent lock unlock. So what it does is locks and unlocks your car just like it sounds without making any noise. So I'm going to point it right here. If you can see, the car is right now is locked, and if I press on try, the car is getting unlocked and locked again, and there was no any honking. We used to have this feature before, but it was working the same way as when you are exiting and leaving the car. you know, the car locks and it beeps. But then people said, I want this to be silent. So when I'm sitting in and I want to lock it, I just can press the button, the car locks, and I feel safer inside. So this is why this feature was introduced with this update. The last thing I want to talk about is the HUD mode. So when you activate it and when you go back, now you have this. We had to change this based on the feedback we received with our previous update. Because before, what we've done is when you activate this toggle, it was doing the same thing as here, but just in a mirror view. However, the lines are very thin, the text is very small, the numbers are tiny, and when you put your phone down here to mirror it on the windshield, everything was extremely blurry. And I'm not sure about you, but with my bad eyesight, I was literally not seeing anything. So what we have done is we have totally changed the HUD mode to be into a separate new screen, which has a larger numbers, and it shows only two things for now. One is the speed, and second is the last detected traffic sign. And the best thing here is that you can choose how big to make it. So if you slide your finger from left to right, just like this, you increase the size and decrease the size. I personally prefer to have it this way. And you can also change the brightness by sliding your finger down and up. Not sure how well you see it because it's very bright now, but I can lower the brightness and increase the brightness. And that's very helpful because what I do now is I set it in this position here, and when it becomes darker, the speed is reflected right here and the speed sign is reflected right here. And that's all the info I need. And because the numbers are much thicker and much brighter, you see them much better on the windshield without having a double vision. So I like it this way. It's like Bjorn likes to say, poor man's HUD, but I like it. It's very, very useful for me. This is something I've always been missing in my Tesla. Let me know down in the comments. Are you really, really interested in us making HUD? Maybe we can do one. And this is it. As I promised, it's a long, boring video. I hope I was able to explain you the best I could our new features and new automations. Again, the new update is dropping this Friday, so make sure to download it to get not only the new features, but also the improvements. I also want to thank all of you who took their time to write comments under our videos telling us not only what to add in the future, but also just telling us thank you for the work we're doing. And we guys really appreciate it. This motivates us so much. I'm going to be honest and give you like a little scoop from the kitchen. Every time when we make our update, we are scared if our community is going to like it. We always think it's not enough. But then when we release it and when we hear your feedback, we are like, wow, this last 3 months of work were totally worth it. So thank you for this. I really appreciate it. The whole team appreciates it. After we dropped an update and read all of your reviews, everybody's really positive, really happy. And we get more energy that way to keep making new features and keep making new automations. So yeah, that's it from me rambling. Thank you so much for staying with me throughout the whole video. I'm going to see you in the next one.